Well, hello there. This is from Sweden calling in. I'm calling to a handsome guy named Flint. This is Anton Glans. This is Flint Espel. Are you there?
Oh, is that a handsome guy named Anton
yeah.
Glans? This is indeed Flint Espel here in the United States. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, man. Where is... Are you hungover, man?
I don't know. I think this is a family program. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about such things.
Correct. Well, it's Saturday night in Sweden, and I might be having a beer. I'm not sure.
Well, I might be having a liter of water currently.
That's nice.
So.
All right, we're gonna watch...
maybe later.
We're gonna watch some Premodern now. We have Rebell on some sort of machine head deck, and we have Javier Campos on Sligh. We will soon see the deck list, but Will has put me on every Sligh matchup, I think, to do commentary on, because he knows I love the deck.
It is your favorite deck. You never shut up about how much you love it.
But you are the Sligh guy, so you can do all the nice in-play there. But here we have Rebel's deck. The pre-modern staple Flame Tongue Kavoo here. Like, what's not to love?
Seriously, look at this. Look at this invasion, block special. We've got Flame Tongue, we've got Blazing Spectre, and then she's got Hypnotic Spectre. Didn't you always want to run a deck back in the day with both Spectres when you saw Blazing Spectre?
Sure. I feel like this deck, was it David Daniels who really popularized this deck back in 2020 or something?
Yeah, he came out with the red-black version or whatever, but he has the erratic explosion combo in his, right? True.
Yeah, this is more mid-range with 4 arenas and 4 terminates and 1 plague main, so she comes prepared for dealing with creatures and take out their hands with the specters, I guess. But Black Knight.
Yeah, this looks like a fair mid-rangey deck, but you're right. Black Knight is a bit of a curveball here.
Yeah, and apparently everyone plays Sligh in this tournament, so the pro white, I'm not sure how relevant it is. It should be a Silver Knight.
It seems like it's like a hedge against all the sorts of Plowshares decks, but the group she's in, it's not going to pay off super well, which is really unfortunate because I dig the creativity here, for sure. And I love the deck name as well. This deck looks sweet. I don't know how good it is, but it looks sweet.
She plays Blood Moon. I mean, come on. Blood Moon is so cool that someone actually plays a main deck, and she's facing mono red. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
I know. Hey, well, those barbarian rings aren't going to do a lot of work. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. No, they're not. That's true. But might be the first card to cut when we go to sideboard games, I guess.
Probably.
So what else here to mention? We have 4 Tainted Peaks with only 6 Swamp, but 4 Bloodstained Mire. What's the golden ratio here?
I leave the mana issues up to people who are much better at math than I am, but I feel like there should probably be a couple more swamps.
I might agree, but I have no real numbers either. All right, now this is your fort, man.
Yes. Let's talk about this Sligh deck from the Spanish national champion. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so, right? Javier just came and swooped the mat under everyone in the latest Spanish nationals with Sligh. And
I think the biggest difference here is it's not Bobble Sligh, right? He's not running Urza's Bobble, and so that frees up those 4 spots, and he's elected to up his Vortex and Scroll count to 3 of each. And he also is running the 1 Lava Dart main. He's interestingly gone down to 3 Shock, and he has 2 Volcanic Hammer. I personally haven't been a big fan of Volcanic Hammer in Sligh lists that I've run, but this one served him quite well at Nationals, right? I think you were saying earlier that this might be the exact 75.
Okay. Yeah, that might be so. I mean, it can be quite fun to discuss or dissect Sligh list, I guess, but like, okay, 56, 57 cards are pretty much stock. But yeah, Volcanic Hammer really
Usually,
is something.
yeah.
It's like almost spicy, right? But I mean, it's three in the head, so it seems legit.
Yeah, it seems fine. I mean, in terms of his barbarian rings, he runs 2. Like some people will run 3, and some people will run 2. It can be really nice as a finisher when you're up against the white decks and you're dealing with things like circular protection. You just need to get in those final points. Obviously, in the group that Javier is in, it's not going to make too much of a difference, I don't think. But if anything, it might be good that he's only running 2, given that the other people in his group have so much direct damage. He's less likely to be hurting himself in some of those matchups where every point really is going to matter. Yeah,
very true. But he plays 20 lands. Seems like absolute minimum when you have 7 cards at CMC 3. So he's done. I'm not sure what else to name here.
Anton is just so excited looking at this deck.
I will state I like watching Sligh matchup and I like playing against Sligh. I just don't like playing Sligh. That's the difference. But here we are. So Rebel's got an unkeepable hand. She has to go to Mulligan, and that looks like a sweet 6, I think.
Yeah, I think she'll keep that.
Awkwardness with Tainted Land and no Swamp, and you have a Black Knight you want to play on turn 2, basically. So, yeah, she keeps it at least. Okay. Yeah. What about the Sligh hand? Is this a good Sligh hand?
Yep. It's fine. I mean, I think he'd be hoping for maybe one more creature, because he's only got shock before he can drop a Vortex. But overall, I think it's a keepable hand. I
mean, in the context of facing a Bolt and a Terminate, Fanatic is probably the best 1-drop he can have, like a Pup or a Grim Lava Man. He solved the Black Knight here. She solved the Black Knight. Yeah,
She found a Dark Ritual. Yes,
that's nice. But will it live? It won't. It won't.
Alas, it makes me kind of sad. Who's the bad guy in this matchup?
Definitely Javier. Yeah.
It's got to be Sligh, right? I mean, Rebel's deck is just too sweet.
Yeah. Rebel will always be the good guy in any context. I feel like this is invasion block. But
so pretty academic here. Just end of turn, going upstairs. You know, realizing that Rebel's on red as well. I think Javier wants to create a big discrepancy in life and then drop that Vortex.
Yeah. And she drew another Black Knight, stack in hand. I mean, it's so weird when you actually have to play Terminate here, or you might have to take 1 damage from the Pain Land to deal with a Mug Fanatic. But like, what you gonna do?
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it. It's that classic, my Mog Fanatic is going to deal you 6 damage kind of scenario.
I mean, she didn't play Mishra's Factory turn 2 because she wanted to have action versus a potential Ball Lightning, I guess. But otherwise, it might have been nice for a blocker, obviously, with Factory. Do you...
Yeah, we see Vortex going to work here.
No, I was going to say, do you think playing the Black Knight there for 2 instead of playing the Mishra's Factory is correct?
I mean, we have more information, so we kind of know what the issue here is here. But I think you got to kill that Fanatic, and I think Rebel's seeing that now.
Yeah, no. I was just meaning like instead of taking 2 damage to deploy the Knight, you could also just play a Factory as a blocker, basically.
Yeah. I think the Factory would have been better.
But this looks grim. Curse Scroll, 3 mana to activate it immediately. Yeah, that's pretty good.
This is grim like Lava Mancer. Yeah, this is game is pretty over at this point, I would say.
And I feel so bad for Rebel here because like Hypnotic Spectre is we're not seeing that guy anymore in Premodern, and basically because of Sligh is a popular deck. Like Spectre is horrendous versus Sligh.
Well, it's horrendous versus swords as well. Like going turn 1 Ritual Spectre is just a bad play against any decks with removal. They just card disadvantage you so hard.
Yeah, but like the swords deck doesn't have like 20 ways to kill the Spectre.
Sure, but they always have a swords. You know how it goes. So they always have a swords. All right, so pretty quick win here for Javier. So let's take a look at the boarding here.
I'm not used to see Winter Orb in Sligh sideboard, but it actually looks pretty goddamn good in this matchup. If you're suspecting like a mid-range deck, which Rebel kind of presented here. So
yeah.
Would you take those in?
Price of Progress looks great. I think Price of Progress is the first one I want to put in, and then I want to see what bad cards I'm potentially taking out here, right?
Yeah, I mean, this feels like a very favored deck already, so you might not actually need to pick in the Winter Orbs as is.
Yeah.
So do you think Blood Moon will stay?
Something tells me it's coming out, Anton.
Arena goes out, okay. Blood Moon goes out.
Yeah.
Do you take in like Overload just because you have the slot for it?
I mean, Rebels bring in Winter Orb and Engineered Plague, it looks like, which is interesting. Maybe Plague is a hedge against, Ball Lightning or something. Oh, wow. Look at this hand that Javier has. That was interesting. Okay, that's keepable.
That's keepable, yeah.
Well, Rebel's got more early interaction here as well, if you look at her hand, right?
Yeah, turn 1 Duress. Duress is not great versus Sligh, but turn 1 Duress is fine. You can take the Price of Progress there just to like... Or do you take the Sulfuric Vortex? Which one would you think be more problematic? Yeah, she takes the Vortex, okay.
I mean... Yeah, it looks like she takes
She
Vortex.
Can pilot around the price until she gets another discard, I guess. But yeah. Oh, Pop from the top is a good one.
Seems good.
I don't recognize the image. Is that an Incinerate? No, what's the red card in Rebels?
That's Fire Blast. Oh, in Rebels' hand?
Yeah,
that's an Incinerate. Okay. Yeah.
So she can deal 3 to Pop and deal 3 to Javier.
Search up. Interesting.
Okay. Is she respecting Ball Lightning instead?
Perhaps. I mean, but she's got a turn before Ball Lightning is a problem.
So do you? No. Okay. He don't bluff. Attacking with a Pop and see if she blocks. I don't know.
No.
Seems bad.
Definitely
here we have another rest, so she could solve the Price of Progress problem here.
Yeah, goes for the Fire Blast, though. I mean, Fire Blast is technically 2 more than the price, and Rebel can search out a mountain here, and really price is only 2 damage, and it only hits players, which is relevant, right? Because that Black Knight is a bit of a problem for Javier. But she get in for 2 there?
Yeah, that's interesting. I think I would be on the defense here, but she keeps drawing these duresses. I mean, Flametongue Kavoo would not be bad here, right? Pretty sweet.
It would be great here. Yeah, it would be.
It would be mean 8 damage to Javier if he decides to attack anything with the other one. Yeah. So, okay, Incinerate on 1.
All right. Okay. It's looking better for Rebel here.
But, like, Sligh always top decks whatever they need.
Yeah. So here's an interesting question. Does she bolt the pup? But obviously no, because if Javier draws a Ball Lightning, she needs to have interaction, and that's exactly what's happened here. But Javier wisely going to just hold that in his hand for perhaps an opportunity where Rebel taps out, would be my guess.
That is a nice play, actually, to not just slam versus an untapped mountain or black and mountain.
Exactly.
Because Rebel is leading this race. And now she knows what's up.
Oh, she knows. Yep. So he's obviously going to just cast it here.
Yeah.
The price, at least. Excuse me. She did a nice job playing around it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I guess her deck works well with just 4 lands, so she can sit with her 4th land in her hand until she needs to deploy it.
Yep.
Just in case of playing around it.
All right, there's the ball.
Would you double bolt here? I think so. It's three in the head for the pup owner. So
I don't.
I think you bolt both.
Probably. It's just you just don't have to is the only thing, right? Like the pup's.
No, but I mean the bolt is still 3 in the head or 3 on a creature, and bolting a pup means both, right? So it saves you 2 life. Yeah. It deals with a creature, and it deals 3 damage. So it feels pretty good. And now Rebel is just 1 more lightning bolt away from closing. You gotta terminate this now, right?
Yeah.
Unless you wanna see if you draw the Flametongue Kavu. Okay. I feel like she's gonna draw the Flametongue Kavu.
I mean, the Kavu has to target something though, right? So if she just casts the Kavu and he sacks the Fanatic in response, doesn't the Kavu just kill itself?
Oh no! Why did you take a pain there? Didn't have to.
Ooh.
Ah.
Oh, this is close.
That's also interesting. Like you could opt to go ahead there and just hope for a top deck next turn instead of taking out the Hypnotic, but it's a high risk, high reward play.
Yeah. And if that Spectre hits once, it's bad news.
Yeah. Still seeing.
So a bit of
yeah.
Yeah, definitely keep that Foothills in your hand in case you draw a Price of Progress. You don't need to be sacking it and losing life unnecessarily anyway. So both players kind of flooding out here. Oh my gosh. It's a staring contest. This is the kind of magic that you came here for.
Yeah, but this can be quite exciting, right? How do you feel about seeing? Scroll is great here. How do you feel about having full information and doing commentary? Do you prefer it to not knowing what players have in their hand, or how do you feel?
I don't know. Maybe I'll have an answer for you by the end of our recording today. I think it's really interesting. It's nice to watch. I watched the other video that Will put out, and it was really nice to have full information as a viewer. As a commentator, my initial inclination is it takes away some of the suspense, right? But yeah, well, let's see how these play out.
I think you nailed it there. Like I prefer it as a viewer, but as a commentator, I think I prefer not knowing.
Not knowing. Yeah. The suspense piece is always really nice.
Oh, this is really close. So if Rebels finds her 4th bolt, this is a done deal.
Yeah. Does she have any other damage?
Oh.
Looks like
close one.
Scoops it up. Rebel scoops it up. Close match for sure.
It was. But Sligh has a tendency to prey on mid-range decks that doesn't have white in it, that don't have Exalted Angels. I mean, rock.
I would say they don't have card advantage or life gain, right? If the rock can get out, Balos or get a Recurring Nightmare going, then it's much better. Otherwise, Sligh just crushes it. Exalted Angel is great.
Yeah, it would have been.
Any sort of card draw, engine is really important, just so it's never like a 1-for-1. But yeah, that's a tough matchup for a Rebel for sure. But well fought.
And just big praise that someone is trying out Blood Moon, because I feel like that card is, I'm gonna say, underplayed, like for reals in Premodern. It sucks when you're facing specifically goblins and Sligh, obviously, but like otherwise, feels like people even who play monocolor, they play fetch lands or whatever, so like it can do some serious work if it comes out early enough. But yeah,
it can. It's unfortunately, the problem is it's an enchantment, right? And so much of the format's just ready for enchantments and artifacts. It's not like 2019 or 2020 Premodern, when people weren't respecting enchantments and artifacts enough and not running as many naturalizes or disenchants or seals as they should have. But I do think that there are matchups where Blood Moon could be effective. It's just, in a lot of those matchups where it is, typically people have access to white mana or green mana or blue mana, which can make Blood Moon kind of hard to stick.
I think we just didn't close out the commentary. I think the recording is over. I'm not sure if Will let us talk anymore, but let's say goodbye, and thanks Rebel and Javier for a nice match. Adios.